Hi, this is Allison, and you're watching ZachArcher.
So I have this book. It's called 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die. Got this a while ago, and I've been meaning to delve into it. It's quite an undertaking, but I really, it kind of dawned on me that I love movies. And I've realized this over the past few years that my passion for movies has grown exponentially, ever since I went into college and kind of really got into that kind of field. My passion for film and television increased a lot, even though it's always been there my whole life. And just never really clicked with me until a few years ago. But it's been a few years, and I still feel like there are a lot of the essential movies out there that I have not seen, and I definitely should see. And that is basically what 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die is. I don't know if this is still the latest version, because they do updated versions like pretty regularly. But you have to kind of stop. I kind of just have to stick with one. I can't keep switching out every year, because it's a lot to keep up with. So basically, the movies range from anywhere from the 1900s to the 2010s. So a large variety. I mean, this is huge. 1001 movies. And, it's just a lot of the essentials, the iconic, your Godfathers, your Shawshank Redemptions, and then everything to, like, the early ones like Citizen Kane and other formative ones in film history, like The Birth of a Nation, A Trip to the Moon, that kind of stuff, which, I've seen. I've seen several of these, of course. If you have a book of 1001 movies, you would think you'd see some of them. I haven't taken the time to go through to see how many. I'm sure it's only like a fraction of a fraction. It's because I took film history classes, film appreciation, and studied film in college. But that's only scratching the surface, really. The thing is, I don't know if I'll even have access to a lot of these, because I think a lot of these are like foreign films, like French films. I don't know if there'll be something I can find even online easily, And just some of these, they're so out there that they might be tough to actually watch before I die. But I feel like it would be cool to kind of work through this. And I was thinking, if I had time, I would do like a weekly series, but I do not have time right now. What with all the videos I do here and the videos I do on Tarkaron, barely have time outside of that. But I think it would be cool, maybe try to do like once a month, try to set that as a goal, or at least as often as I can, and just kind of pick a random one out and watch, kind of check it off. There's so many to delve into. If ideally I would have a list and just randomize it out of there if I had access to any of these movies, but again, I don't know if I have access to all of them. And I think, of course I want to watch the ones I haven't seen, but I wouldn't mind rewatching ones I have seen to just talk about them here. And, each one I go through, I could come and talk about here on the channel. That would be fun, because, like, I've seen some of the first ones they have. Yeah, the first movie they have here, because it's so early in film history, 1902, is A Trip to the Moon, which I have seen. I have seen in the film history class, but I wouldn't mind watching it again. Same with like The Great Train Robbery, Birth of a Nation. I've seen these. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. I think Nosferatu is in here. Nanook of the North. Yeah, I've seen a lot of these early ones, but I say a lot, but there's hundreds and hundreds of hundreds that I haven't seen here. Especially if you go into halfway into the book, you're sitting in the 70s. That's crazy. My experience with movies decades ago is even less than my experience with them now, which is not where I want it to be still. So it would be fun to go through this, and let's see, just pull to a random one. Groundhog Day I have seen, but then I go over here and like, this one's The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, which I've never even heard of. But I'm like, damn, I'd be down to just watch that. Yeah, there's a lot in here. Saving Private Ryan, you go from Saving Private Ryan to some obscure foreign films, which I'm like, hopefully I can watch. But yeah, so basically stay tuned, and I hope to come back soon. I'll try to do one soon so I can come talk about it. I'm not going to decide ahead of time which one I'm going to watch. It'll just kind of be a surprise when you see it, I guess. But there'll be some sort of signifier in the title or the thumbnail. It'll say this is a 1001 Movies movie that I'm talking about. But yeah, it'll be a cool undertaking. This on top of all the movies I'm watching for Tarkaran a lot. Tarkaran at least has gotten me to watch some great ones like Good Will Hunting and The Godfathers and some Star Wars, which I'm sure a bunch of those are included in this as well. But it'll be cool to expose myself to even more movies, because I made a post a couple of years ago where I was asking people for recommendations. I'm like, which movies do I need to see that I haven't seen? And I still haven't gotten around to some of them. You know, ones like I have seen Pulp Fiction and ones like those, but other ones that stand out, like A Clockwork Orange, I remember people mentioning that, and a bunch of others I just haven't gotten around to. It's hard to find the time, but I'd like to make time, you know. Film is something I do appreciate a lot, so I'd like to have the knowledge and the experience to back it up a little bit. Alright, go to ZachArcher.net for the latest.